Before you do anything else today, stop and listen, because this may be the small act that changes the way you walk through this year. I am not talking about a loud miracle. I'm not talking about pretending life is easy when it is not. I am talking about one simple thing, strange enough to make people laugh, but deep enough to make your spirit sit up and pay attention. Put a little salt in your shoes today. Yes, really. And before you brush that off, stay with me, because the last part of this message is where everything turns. Salt is not just something sitting in your kitchen. Salt has always meant preservation, cleansing, protection, strength, memory. It keeps what matters from spoiling. It pulls out what is hidden. It reminds the earth that something valuable is still here. And when you place salt under your feet, you are making a quiet declaration over your path. You are saying, I will not keep walking in fear. I will not drag yesterday into every tomorrow. I will not let this world wear my spirit down until I forget who I am. So stay close. Do not skip ahead. Because by the end of this, you may never look at your steps, your struggle, or your future the same way again. Come close and hear this with more than your ears. Hear it with the part of you that is tired but still hoping. Hear it with the part of you that has been bruised by life and still gets up in the morning anyway. This message is for the grown woman carrying too much in silence. It is for the tired man who keeps showing up while nobody sees the weight on his back. It is for the young soul trying to stay soft in a hard world. Put salt in your shoes today, not as a magic trick, not as a performance, as a reminder. Salt is old, older than empires, older than pride, older than the systems that taught people to measure worth by noise and money and applause. Long before people chased shiny things, salt was prized because it mattered. It preserved food. It purified water. It marked covenants. It healed wounds even when healing came with a sting. That is why this matters. Salt does not pretend life never cuts you. Salt says, yes, you were wounded, but you will not stay infected. Yes, you have been through fire, but you will not rot in your pain. Yes, people have tried to speak decay over your future, but your purpose will be preserved. When you walk with salt in your shoes, you are telling heaven and earth the same thing at once. My path is protected. My spirit is not for spoil. My calling will not be erased by delay, rejection, or fear. Salt has a way of telling the truth. Sugar can look pretty. Sugar can taste sweet for a moment. But under pressure, sugar dissolves fast. Salt remains. Salt stays sharp. Salt leaves a mark. And there comes a time in every life when you must decide whether you are going to keep melting under pressure or start standing in your own substance. That is what this act is about. It is about substance. It is about walking with something in you that does not disappear every time life gets heavy. Think about all you have survived. Think about the nights you cried and still woke up to do what had to be done. Think about the words that cut you, the disappointment that knocked the wind out of you, the silence that made you wonder if your prayers were being heard. You are still here. That means something. So do not walk like your story is shallow. Do not shrink your footsteps to make other people comfortable. Put salt in your shoes and let every step carry meaning. Let every step say, I have been through enough to know my strength. Let every step say, my life will not stay bland, numb, or lifeless. And listen, because this matters, the next part is not just about protection. It is about intention. Because a powerful step in the wrong direction is still a mistake. So stay with me. We are going deeper now. Too many people are moving, but not many are walking with purpose. They rush from room to room, task to task, obligation to obligation, and still feel empty because movement is not the same thing as meaning. You can be busy and still be lost. You can be surrounded and still feel unseen. You can be doing everything and still know in your bones that something is missing. That missing thing is often intention. When you put salt in your shoes, you slow down long enough to remember why you are walking in the first place. You are not here just to survive another day. You are not here to become a machine built for stress. You are not here to chase approval until your soul forgets its own name. You are a living spirit in motion, a life with purpose, a voice with weight, a path with meaning. So before you take your first real step today, bless it. Say to yourself, I will not wander without awareness. I will not walk into spaces that demand I betray myself to belong. I will not keep stepping toward things that drain my peace, dim my light, or confuse my spirit. Salt in your shoes becomes your why. It becomes a quiet vow that says every step I take today will carry dignity, direction, and a deeper knowing that I am not walking alone. Keep watching in your mind as this unfolds, because the next truth is where many people begin to cry, and for good reason. Every step plants something. That is not poetry only. That is life. Every day you are sowing into your future with your choices, your words, your pace, your posture, your yes, your no, your staying, your leaving. You are either planting peace or planting chaos. You are either feeding bitterness or feeding purpose. And if you do not stop and bless your own journey, you can spend years sowing pain into the same ground and then wonder why nothing beautiful wants to grow there. Salt changes that. Salt says this path will be sanctified. This road will not keep swallowing my joy. This journey will not be owned by fear. There are places you should not go anymore. There are conversations you should not keep entering. There are rooms where your spirit has learned to shrink just to be tolerated. No more. Salt in your shoes means you start walking like someone who knows their peace has value. It means you stop calling every open door an opportunity. Some doors are lessons. Some invitations are traps. Some people only love the version of you that stays weak. But when your path is salted with intention, you begin to sense the difference. You begin to notice where your spirit feels clear and where it feels crowded. You begin to choose what honors your life instead of just what fills your calendar. And that shift, quiet as it is, can change everything from your relationships to your work to the way you hear your own inner voice. Now let us talk about wounds, because nobody gets through this world without them. Salt touches wounds and it burns. We all know that. But it burns because it is cleaning what could destroy you if left hidden. That is why this image matters so much. Some of you are still walking with open hurt. Old betrayals, old shame, old words spoken over you when you were too young to defend yourself. And because you never named the wound, you started building your life around the pain. You changed your voice. You changed your dreams. You lowered your standards. You learned to expect less so disappointment would hurt less. But hear me clearly. That is not healing. That is survival. And survival is not the same thing as freedom. Putting salt in your shoes is a way of saying, I am ready to stop walking as if my pain is my identity. I am ready to stop letting old wounds decide how far I can go. It may sting to heal. It may sting to forgive. It may sting to release what broke you. But the sting of cleansing is not the same as the poison of staying infected. So if your heart has been bruised, if your confidence has been thin, if your peace has been leaking through cracks nobody else can see, this is your reminder. Healing may be uncomfortable, but decay is worse. Choose the burn that cleans. Choose the truth that restores. Choose the step that begins your return to yourself. And while we are here, let us speak honestly about release, because you cannot walk into a new season carrying every chain from the old one. Some people are not tired because they are working too hard. They are tired because they are carrying too much that no longer belongs to them. Old guilt, old grief, old anger, old versions of themselves that should have been buried long ago. They hold on to resentment because it feels like proof that what happened mattered. They hold on to shame because it has become familiar. They hold on to broken connections because letting go feels like losing twice. But my love, not everything you carry is yours to keep. Some pain taught you what it needed to teach, and now it wants to be released. Some relationships already ended in spirit long before they ended in form. Some memories deserve honor, not permanent residence. If you want your walk to change, your weight has to change. Put salt in your shoes and ask yourself one hard question. What am I still dragging that is dragging me back? Do not answer fast. Sit with it. Let the real names rise. That old grudge. That need to be chosen by people who cannot see you. That guilt over who you were when you were still learning. That fear of being too much. That fear of not being enough. Lay it down. Releasing is not weakness. Releasing is holy strength. It is the brave decision to stop offering your future to the same pain that nearly broke your past. You do not need to be perfect to walk with purpose. You do not need to have every answer before taking the next step. You do not need a map for the whole road. You need enough courage for the next movement. That is where faith begins, not in certainty, in willingness, in the quiet decision to keep going even when your knees shake a little. Faith is not loud all the time. Sometimes it whispers, sometimes it trembles, sometimes it shows up in a tired person getting out of bed and saying, I will try again. Fear, on the other hand, has many costumes. It does not always come looking dark and obvious. Sometimes it comes dressed as perfectionism. Sometimes it comes dressed as procrastination. Sometimes it sounds wise while it slowly steals your future. It tells you wait longer, hide a little more, do not risk, do not begin, do not trust yourself yet. But faith rolls up its sleeves and says move anyway. Salt in your shoes is a physical reminder of that decision. It says I may not know the whole staircase, but I will take the step in front of me. I may not know where the money will come from, where the healing will break through, where the right door will open, but I refuse to let fear hold the pen that writes my story. If this part is speaking to you, stay with me, because now we reach the turning point where your walk becomes witness. When you begin walking with faith and intention, people feel it before you even explain it. Your energy changes. Your pace changes. You stop moving like someone waiting for permission. You stop apologizing for the space your spirit takes up. You stop begging life for crumbs while carrying a calling that asks you to build, create, speak, serve, and rise. This does not mean you become loud. It means you become rooted. Quiet confidence enters your stride. Your no becomes cleaner. Your yes becomes stronger. Your presence starts lifting rooms instead of shrinking to fit them. And no, everyone will not understand the change. Some people were comfortable when you doubted yourself. Some people liked you better when you stayed small, confused, and easy to control. Let them wonder. Let them talk. Your assignment is not to explain every transformation to people committed to misunderstanding it. Your assignment is to keep walking, keep building, keep choosing what honors your peace. Keep saying yes to what your spirit has been nudging you toward. That business idea, that application, that hard boundary, that move, that prayer, that conversation, that fresh start. Faith is not just believing something nice might happen one day. Faith is movement. It is action. It is a body agreeing with what the soul already knows. And that is why this simple act matters. Salt in your shoes does not just symbolize change. It prepares you to carry change with steadier feet. There will still be valleys. There will still be long roads. I will not lie to you about that. Some days your shoes will feel heavy and the path will feel endless. Some mornings you will wake up brave. Other mornings you will have to borrow your strength one breath at a time. But do not mistake a difficult road for a wrong one. Some of the holiest journeys begin in discomfort. Some of the clearest growth begins when you finally stop asking for an easy path and start asking for a steady spirit. Put salt in your shoes on those days too, especially on those days. Put it there when the answer has not come yet. Put it there when you are tired of starting over. Put it there when your heart feels fragile and your hope feels thin. Because the point is not to only walk when you feel powerful. The point is to remember that your walk still matters when you do not. Your footsteps still count. Your prayers still rise. Your becoming is still happening. Every scar has taught you something. Every delay has stretched something in you. Every time you almost gave up but did not, your path learned your name a little more clearly. So keep going. Not rushed, not desperate, not trying to outrun your own soul. Just steady. One step, then another, then another. That is how transformation often looks in real life. Not one giant leap. 1,000 faithful steps. And here is the deepest truth in all of this. The salt is not only about where you are going. It is about who you are becoming while you go there. This whole journey is shaping you, not into a copy of what the world rewards for a season, but into the person you were always meant to be. Stronger without becoming hard, softer without becoming weak, clearer without becoming cold, more honest, more rooted, more alive. There is a version of you waiting on the other side of this season, but that version cannot be reached by dragging every old fear into every new door. That version of you needs room, needs air, needs release, needs courage, needs a walk that matches the prayer. So today, if you do nothing else, make this act mean something. Take a little salt, place it in your shoes, hold them for a second before you put them on. Speak over your day in simple words. Say, my path is protected. My spirit is preserved. My wounds are healing. My purpose is alive. I release what is too heavy. I choose faith over fear. I will walk with intention. Then put those shoes on and move through the day like someone who remembers their worth. Move like your life is not random. Move like your steps are being watched by heaven and remembered by the earth. Move like peace has a claim on you. Move like the future is not closed. Move like you are no longer waiting to become powerful. Move like you already are. So walk now. Walk like your footsteps carry memory and promise at the same time. Walk like the ground beneath you knows you are no longer the person who entered this season afraid and uncertain. Walk like every room you enter deserves the full truth of your presence. Walk like your healing is real, your release is real, your calling is real, and your next chapter is not a fantasy. Walk like you understand that transformation is not always loud, but it is always noticeable to the soul. And when fear tries to whisper again, and it will, let your own steps answer it. Let your rhythm answer it. Let your salt answer it. Say, I have come too far to return to smallness. I have cried too many tears to keep living half awake. I have survived too much to treat my life like it is ordinary. There is purpose under my feet. There is prayer in my stride. There is light still moving toward me, even if I cannot see the whole road yet. So I will keep walking. I will keep trusting. I will keep becoming. And one day soon, you will look back at this moment and realize the change did not begin when everything around you improved. It began the moment you decided your path would no longer be walked carelessly. It began the moment you put salt in your shoes, lifted your head, and stepped forward like the earth already knew your name.